The secret side of me, I never let you see. I keep it caged, but I can't control it. So stay away from me, the beast is ugly. I feel the rage and I just can't hold it. It's scratching on the walls, in the closet, in the halls. It comes awake and I can't control it. Hiding under the bed, in my body, in my head. Why won't somebody come and save me from this? Make it in. I feel it deep within, it's just beneath the skin. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I hate what I've become, the nightmare's just begun. I must confess that I feel like a monster. I feel like a monster.
We are live for a little Sunday Night Madness here for the Full Throttle Motorsports. Well, Sunday Night All-Star Challenge here, and this is where, you know, it's been interesting. This is race number 5. And of course, well, before I actually jump the gun, you know, all of this brought to you by none other than, you'll see it flash by in the top right, Expert Insulation and Swan Speed Shop. Without Expert Insulation coming up with the funds here for the wonderful broadcast, wouldn't be able to do this type of stuff. And without Swan Speed Shop, you know, we wouldn't have many fast drivers out there. So we, no offense, guys, you know the drill. We gotta give credit to the real burner, Swan Speed Shop out there, hooking us up with some quick rides. But we are in race number 5. Week 6 here for the Sunday night deal, but remember, last week was a 75-lap mid-season showdown for the small block and big blocks, which come up next. So we've only run 4 races here. We're halfway through the schedule. Let's take a look at the points. Joseph Grandy, you can see as I squint because I am looking on my side monitor. I don't have a cheat sheet. Let's see. If that is not 578 to 548, my apologies. But those are the numbers I see, and I see a 30-point gap. So Joseph Grandy here with the lead and the quickest race car right now in warm-ups at the Cedar Lake Speedway. These Full Throttle Motorsports guys, they want to turn it on here. They want to try to bring one of their own out for this Sunday Night All-Stars Challenge Championship. But not always that easy when you got a bunch of quick guys rolling around you, and the 518 currently is that man at the top of the charts. Should be a good one here. You know, Cedar Lake, one of those tracks where you've heard me talk before. You know, I try to be pretty honest. I don't think we're going to have a lot of cautions, but if we do have cautions, they're going to be in the beginning stages of the race. Once drivers kind of realize where the guy in front of them is lifting going into turn one, we'll see a lot of the problems abated. But 1 and 2, that can be a tricky spot, especially on restarts. And you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, as we watch the 91 of Shelley, Caleb Schellenberg, roll around the racetrack. So trying to get a run on here, the 56 of Aaron Brown. Aaron Brown, is that a maybe like a possible military-inspired vehicle? It says "Remember the Fallen." I dig that thing. Tommy Gun Customs ride. That's going to rotate to the in-car, but this is the most zoom camera I have, so I'm going to have to kind of deal with it. Hopefully we get a little bit of an angle of the other side. Maybe good. Nope. Let's see here as he rolls into 2. That's a good-looking ride for Aaron Brown. Definitely one of the better paint jobs I've come across. Didn't even notice the battle star there on the top of the thing. That's pretty wicked ride there for the 56 of Aaron Brown. Mike Brewer just up the road, running the high side behind Tyler Knopf at the moment. I'm sorry, playing with sounds a little bit, so if it seems a little loud, it gets a little lower, because I'm noticing that camera especially pretty loud. And you just heard one of the drivers say "my bad," and well, I gotta stop racing during the day, I guess, because I'm really good at forgetting to go like this. That simple, that quick. Oh boy, it can get you into trouble real quick too. If you forget to turn that thing off. This is Joseph Grandy, the 518. Got a new whip on, or new skin on the whip here this week. Matt Julisay Speed Shop on the back end of it. Let's see here. Of course not. Not going to have a good... Nope, not zoomed in over there either. So, not going to get a better look at that thing. He's camera shy, pulling off the racetrack. So have to wait on that one. Let's roll over into the other room. Let's take a look at some of these rides here. This is none other than the old timer himself, Papa Dean Reynolds here. Pulls out on the racetrack with the plum crazy purple on it. You know, I mean, he'd be the first to tell you he's got more rides than, man, the majority of people I know, but all stylish for Dino. Dino's got some good-looking rides, and can't blame him for that. I'll tell you what, I can blame the Full Throttle Motorsports team for something. Samuel Bachman, I just saw your name pop in there. Curse you for showing me the game schedule 1. Absolutely curse you. It has kind of taken over my life, and now as soon as I get done here doing this, I have about 15-20 minutes to write a script for my 2-hour NASCAR broadcast. So thank you, Sam Bachman, for absolutely wrecking my life this weekend when I haven't been out golfing. I have been playing that game. If you don't know what it is, maybe check it out. It's on Steam. Ruin your life as well, but it's a good mindless game. As you see here, let's hop into another room. Nobody's on the track in this one. And the Cobb, he's in a room by himself, actually. Sam Bachman is in that room. I was clicking on him in the list, just not on the racetrack, so he's in the room with the big slow. Dean Reynolds, Anthony Roselli. We've got Roselli out here in the 8. Well, looks like an 80 to me. Supposed to be a 7. You're probably going to hear me call it the 80. Anthony Morano and his late model. Ooh, the Ant-Man touches the wall a little bit in that 32. He's going to drive it into the pits. Another one getting a little camera shy is Bicky. out on the racetrack in the 07. Smith's Outdoor on the hood of that thing. That's another good-looking ride, man. These guys are putting some time into the paints. You gotta love it, man. That's not easy, really, to do. I mean, you learn tricks here and there, different stuff with your layers to make you be able to put shine on a little easier and stuff like that. But, man, that's a lot of time dude put into that 07. You can tell it is a good-looking ride for Tyler Bickford. Joseph Grandy's roughing up his... Or no, he's not. Or no, yeah, okay, the side is a little crinkled. I thought maybe it had a little bit of a paint effect there, but you can tell when we get that angle. It is a little dented in. He'll fix that up here before he goes out qualifying. Only 20 seconds left here in practice, so... If you got any tricks, now's the time to show us here so we can maybe take a peek at what we'll see in qualifying. Let's look at the last times around. So Joseph Grandy just ran a 13.13. Gas Money hasn't been out there in a little bit. Guys, so Aaron Brown, what did he run? 13.17. So it's seeming like, you know, if you could get to a low 13, that's going to be a pretty good lap here as we roll into qualifying, but we'll have to see. We'll leave it on best time here, and we'll see who gets the honor being first out for qualifying. And right now, it looks like it's going to be the Spider Monkey in the 83. Brandon Dittmer. Let's see what Brandon has in store for us here. Brandon trying to set it up early there on corner entry. Loses it a little bit in the center. So he's probably going to have to scrap this lap all, but, you know, this won't be the best one, or at least he won't want it to be as he comes across the line. Lap number 1 in the books, and the Spider Monkey with a 13.93. There you see Jeff Sharp with a 13.14 and $100,000. Joseph Grandy with a 13.07. Those low 13s, what you're looking for here in qualifying. And Grandy found one, but so did Bicky. Tyler Bickford comes across the stripe, lap number 1. He's on the top of the charts. Can he improve second time around? The answer is going to be no there for the 07 of Tyler Bickford. Doesn't need to be quicker, though, that second time around. You see, you got a purple sector there, but he's just out having fun now. Already had the 2 laps in. Not going to count. Let's go see what the 41 of Tyler Knopf can do as he comes to a close. 13.24 got him 11th. As Shelley, his final lap, jumps him up to 5th. See, Mike Brewer out here. Lap number 1 may have kissed the wall a little bit. Didn't get credit for it. Mike Brewer this time by. Going to get 14th. For the driver of the 39, Mike Brewer. As we go out here, we watch Dalton. I believe Dalton, little brother to DJ Dylan. Dalton comes across here. I don't know if he's going to get another chance. He may have touched the wall on both laps. That was a little confusing here. No, there we go. It finally jumps in. Dalton gets credit for 4th there. Was going for the final bang on the last lap. Okay. Maybe did a little track reset after getting into the wall in the first lap and came back in. Sometimes it messes up the software, but this one shouldn't count. And well, he'd like it to because you see purple. Sector 2. Still going to stay at that 13.12. And well, that does it. All the drivers except Logan Wentz and William Watson have put in a qualifying time here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. And boy's going to get ready to go play. Should be 20 drivers, I'd imagine. 3 heat races, maybe 4. But we'll know for sure here when we take a look here at the starting lineup for heat race number 1. And it is going to be 3. I can do some math here. Row 4 to the inside, the 88 of William Watson. Row 3 to the outside, the 39 of Mike Brewer. Into the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row 2 to the outside, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. To the inside, the 028 of Jeff Sharp. Row number 1 for heat race number 1, presented by Expert Installations and Swan Speed Shop. Insulation. I think I said insulations. I added an S. Expert Insulation. I promise. You know, I was an expert in math in school, so they had to put me in the helper classes and some other ones, and maybe speech was one of them, but we'll find that out at a later day. But row number 1 to the outside, the 82 of little brother Dalton DeWert. To the inside, the 07 of Tyler Bickford, a.k.a. Bicky. Man, I'm even shortening the guy's last name here. Poor Bickford. He's just trying to show up to race today, and here I am making it as hard as I can on him. So we should roll around. From what I'm hearing, on the dirt side of things, unless it's at an asphalt track, they got rid of the shortened pace laps thing. So we should be doing pace laps all the time until they maybe change it up for us. But we're going to go down the back stretch here at the Cedar Lake Speedway, and for the final time, drivers will go through 3 and 4. As the pace truck pulls off, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 8 laps to play in the clay at Cedar Lake Speedway. We're underway. Ooh, Bicky slides up and shuts the door there, and you see Dalton trying to rim that outside, and before you know it, Jeff Sharp in the 028, he might come up here and play. Dalton, a little slide job for the lead. Bicky cuts back to the inside, but Dalton gonna have a full head of steam coming off of 4. He rips the top through 1 and 2. He's gonna have to cut underneath. Oh, he can't. Bicky, good job playing the middleman there, going down the backstretch. Great line of defense for the 07. And the 82 had no choice. He's going to have to let it rest and come back again here in a little bit. Dean Reynolds moves on up to 3rd as he's able to get around the 390 of Mike Brewer. Not too sure what happened there. My apologies. I'm not too sure what happened there either. I opened up a can of soda, as you guys probably heard, and, well, I got a mess to clean up. Somehow it fizzed over on the floor. My life in a nutshell due to play at Cedar Lake Speedway. Dean Reynolds trying to hold off his teammate there in the 39. Brewer, can he get a run here? White flag in the air. 1 more lap to go. Dino with a little bit of a hiccup. Brewer going to send it in low. He almost clips the tires. And with 1 corner to go, your lead's decided. Bicky takes home heat race number 1. DeWert, Reynolds, Brewer, Bachman, Watson, and Sharp round out heat race number 1. We get ready to take a look here at the starting lineup for heat race number 2. Rounding out the field in the 18, Logan Wentz. Row 3 to the top shelf in the 083, the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. To the inside, the 41 of Tyler Knopf. Row 2 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the 51 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Row number 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside, the 118 of Gas Money, Brandon Geiswhite. To the inside, the 518 of 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. Now remember, because I know the guys out there racing with him remember, Joseph Grandy is your point leader at the moment. So, you know, I mean, as much as they don't wish bad luck on him, you know, maybe they wish some bad luck on him. Make that 518 his night a little more difficult. And it's looking like it's going to be at the time being. He's going to start up front. Winner of heat race number 2 will start on the outside of the front row for tonight's Expert Insulation A main. Everybody knows it's how important starting position is here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. If you can get that good run through 1 and 2, go up and shut the door, and maybe drive preventative like we saw Bicky do there in heat race number 1. Get defensive going down the backstretch. You can do wonders, and we'll have to see if he can get it done here. If Grandy can slide up, play a little defense, or if Gas Money can get aggressive in that 118 and go steal a heat race win. But we're going to see that pace truck drop the hammer and pull away, because we've got 8 laps to play at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Heat race number 2 is underway. Grandy with a good run there on the top shelf is Tyler Knopf taking a little peek. But look at Putt here. Started 3rd, driving under the 118, but loses the rear end coming off a 2. And now got to fall back up in line as Aaron Brown looks to take a peek under the 41. Tyler Knopf going to try to drive him in a little lower than he'd like, not give him a lot of yaw on corner entry. And now the 41 going to send it in up against that top shelf, get a big head of steam, and he holds off P4 for the time being. Gas Money taking a peek downstairs here, but you've seen guys just haven't had that luck through 3 and 4, but the 118, he's had the best run so far as he is all over the back of the 518. Oh, you hear him have to crack the throttle there. Doesn't want to get into the back of your point leader, but Geiswhite knows this is the difference between starting 2nd and starting 5th. So you got to be aggressive. You got to try to make your move. And as we roll through 3 and 4, the sand's falling down the hourglass here. 2 laps to go. Brandon Dittmer back here battling with the 118 of Logan Wentz as we see the 83 on the outside. But with the white flag in the air, we got a battle for the lead here. Can Gas Money take a peek? Final time down the backstretch. Through 3 and 4, checkered flag in the air. Joseph Grandy takes home heat race number 2, followed by Gas Money, Putt, Knopf, Brown, Dittmer, and Wentz. We get ready to take a look here at the starting grid for heat race number 3, your 3rd and final heat race. And then remember, drivers will have a 5-minute intermission, so you'll have time to go to the bathroom, pop that popcorn, get a drink. But for now, let's take a look at that starting lineup. Row 3 to the outside, the Cobb. In the 28, Brandon Combs. To the inside, the 7 of Anthony Roselli. Row 2 to the outside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. To the inside, the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. Row number 1 to the outside, the 91 of Shelley, Caleb Schellenberg. And starting on the pole, the big slow in the 316, Devin Hauer. And man, oh man, I love my new computer. You guys have probably heard me talk about the graphics card, but boy, oh boy, I'm sweating like a pig, man. Holy crap, it is getting warm again on the East Coast. It's about time to get that central air turned on the AC mode here. We're going to be doing that at warm-ups because it is getting wild here in the Northeast. You know, it goes from cold to hot, back to cold. We better be done with that cold crap. I'm ready to get my golfing in. As the pace truck pulls off, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Watch out, pace car. We're ready to play. Devin Hauer with a slider right away to protect, was able to cut under Shelley, but now Shelley slides him in 3 and 4, and Devin gonna go protect one more time, but the 91 doing the same thing he did lap number 1. watches the 316 slide up and shut the door. It just cuts under him, takes it back in 3 and 4, and the 91 leads the way. The Cobb started dead last year, rolled off 6th. He's up to 4th. Can Brandon Combs get a little frisky here in that Busch Light Fuel number 28? Schellenberg loving the war he sees behind as Anthony Morano taking a peek under the big slow Devin Hauer. Devin rolling that top side, following your leader. And Anthony Morano trying to do it a little differently. Here is the big slow, sends it in, they get close. Got a baby out of that throttle coming off of 4, and now the Ant-Man, he sends it in. Little love tap there in the center of the corner. It's getting frisky here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. We've got 2 to play. The big slow with a big send as he slides up, grabs the cushion, touches that backstretch wall, and Shelley back to the lead. Oh, we've got almost 4 wide. Little Rubbins racing. White flag in the air. Shelley slams the door shut. The big slow gets a little sideways. Anthony Morano gets into him. Brandon Combs cuts up underneath. Checkered flag in the air. Final time. A little contact. Shelley holds on. The big slow. Combs edges out Morano. Dylan Kinsey 5th. And Anthony Roselli rounds out the field. But boy, oh boy, if that is anything for what we have in store for our expert installation A-Main here at the Cedar Lake Speedway, you better hurry your you-know-what up, refuel yourself, and get back here because, oh my gosh, it is going to be exciting. And we'll have to see if anybody can inch closer to this man in the 518, the 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. As I step away for a second or two, but as always, we'll enjoy the sights and sounds of the track. We'll be right back. All right, so we're back here. We've been here the whole time, but I've been watching, I'm not sure if there's maybe a little bit of drama unfolding from that final heat race, but we've got some stuff brewing up there in the race control. And, man, I'll tell you what, if you guys let me have my opinion and you let Ben have his opinion out there in the chat box, damn good race in there. Heat race number 3. You got fenders. You're going to use them a little bit. It's a one-lane racetrack, Rubbins Racing. Nobody got wrecked. I mean, we saw it. They were almost synchronized 4 wide. Can I actually... Let's see here. Now, this would be what I was referring to. Let me see something here. Okay, so it wasn't Mike Brewer involved. Anyway, who was it? Somebody fill me back in here. I can't even remember. My mind is so bad. I believe Shelley was involved in it. He's not in this one. But now, we got to go back live here. Where do we? Let's see here. No, this is out here for warm-ups, I think. Confused. Got myself all mumble-jumbled around. I would have loved to. I wish SDK would let me just hop back sessions and keep my files in the bottom side. But of course not. Beggars can't be choosers. It is what it is, I guess, here. But one day, maybe, they'll ask me what I want on my SDK Christmas list. I can happily fill them in. Let's take a look here. Starting lineup for your A main here at the Cedar Lake Speedway, presented by Expert Insulations. Rounding out the field, row 10 to the outside, the 18 of Logan Wentz, to the inside, the 028 of Jeff Sharp. Row 9 to the outside, the 7 of Anthony Roselli. To the inside, the 83 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 8 to the outside, the 88 of William Watson. To the inside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. Row 7 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. Row 6 to the outside, the 32 of the Ant-Man, Anthony Morano. To the inside, the 41 of Tyler Knopf. Row 5, Mike Brewer. To the outside, Brandon Combs. To the inside, in the 28. Row number 4 to the top shelf, Putt-Putt, Clay Christopherson. To the inside, Dean Reynolds. Row 3 to the outside, the big slow Devin Howard. To the inside, Gas Money, Brandon Geiswhite. Row 2 to the outside, the 82 of Dalton DeWert. To the inside, Shelley, Caleb Schellenberg. Row number 1 for your Expert Insulation Pro Late Model feature at the Cedar Lake Speedway. To the outside, 100 grand, Joseph Grandy. And starting on the pole in the 07 Bicky, Tyler Bickford, as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We've got 30 laps to play in the clay at Cedar Lake Speedway. Tyler Bickford with a good run there through 1 and 2, able to concrete his way to the lead, but the battle's on for P2 as 100 grand, feeling the pressure from Shelley on the inside, and here comes Gas Money creeping his way through in the 118. Gas Money thinking about making it 3 wide. Is man, oh man, they're racing hard here. Only 3 laps in. Oh, there we go. Dalton behind, jumps the cushion a little bit. He's going to lose a spot, maybe 2, as the Cobb jumps his way on up into the top 5. Brandon Combs, but the yellow flag waves at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Logan Wentz involved. Let's see if we can find out what happened here to the 118, if it started ahead or if, well, it's looking like maybe Mike Brewer. No, that's the 39 there of Devin Hauer. Right. Oh, wait, no, that is Mike Brewer. Excuse me. The big slow's in the 316. Duh, it's those threes. See him chop down a little bit there on the 118 of Logan Wentz. Then Dino couldn't get anywhere. And Logan hardened to that outside wall. Jeff Sharp involved as well. Just trying to miss it there in the 028. Brandon Dittmer. 5 or 6 cars injured in that one. So we'll see a couple guys, I'd imagine, come down and, maybe play with a quick repair or two. But Tyler Bickford leads the way out front. Right now, the man on the move up 4 spots in the 88. He said he was coming from the rear. William Watson. Not a lot of time here, but if anybody can do it, it's the driver of that 88. And the lights are off on the pace truck. We should get ready to go back racing this time. As you see, the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Bicky drops the hammer, and we're back underway. Lap 4 at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Tyler with a good jump there, but the battle on behind, man. Brandon Combs trying to absolutely drive that 28 off the rails here. Top shelf through 3 and 4. Looking to build up some speed. Gas Money going to go up, shut the door through 1 and 2. That allows the big slow and possibly putt-putt to scoot his way on by on the inside. But right now, Devin Howard, he is putting up a fight, man. This dog is hungry. Almost won heat race number 3. Was the odd man out after some good, hard, clean racing, and now he's got to try to go earn it on the racetrack. And Dalton, what can he do? Isn't with us all the time, but anytime that 82 does show up, he's shining. Doesn't matter what race car he's in, he is quick. And Dalton putting a lot of pressure on the driver of that 91 for the bottom step of the podium. Anthony Morano creeping his way into the picture. He's watching his teammates fight in front of him. So he says, guys, how about I make it 4 wide through 1 and 2? Brandon Combs with a big run off that top shelf, and the rest of the 3 are going to be thanking him for that, because that could have been nasty. But Anthony Morano, he moves his way on up. Give him 2, maybe 3, as now he takes a peek under the cob. Oh, a little too much butter on the cob, though. Brandon's making it slippery for the Ant-Man down there, and Anthony had to get back up in line, and we're seeing Joseph Grandy slowly tug at the reins here of the 07 of Tyler Bickford. He is creeping in. He not necessarily there for the send yet, but he's definitely close enough to start thinking about it. And these guys, this war has not stopped since the restart on lap 3. Dalton trying to find a way by the 91, but just can't do it. You want to be up top right now, I had told you, and that's nothing against. These guys are all great. They're fantastic even, which makes it that much harder. But, man, this is such a top-dominant racetrack when it starts to wear away. And your heat positioning really was kind of everything. I mean, you're seeing William. He's up 5 spots, but, you kind of hit that wall. And William Watson not even in the top 10 yet. We've only got 15 laps to go. As Dalton, he's got to calm those tires back down, hop back up on that top shelf, just building up a little speed. We got a slide job. Goes across the nose there, the 91. Shelley cuts underneath. He's going to feed him back a little supper here. But Dalton cuts down out of 4 side by side at the line. Give it to the 91, but maybe only a matter of time. Able to cut back. And, well, I had my corners wrong. That was out of 4. Now they're coming out of 2. Might help if I knew where we were. And that was all the 82 at the line. That's important if we have a caution. Dalton able to hold on to P3, but now we got 2 sharks here trying to swim their way under the 91. Oh, putt-putt. 2 for 1 through 1 and 2. The 51 up to P4. Clay finding a lot of grip downstairs through 1 and 2 as he comes up with a big run there on his teammate in the 82. And with 10 laps to play, you gotta think. Looking good here for the 51. Bargain shopping on the bottom. He's got third as they enter 3. Battle for the lead. Joseph Grandy with a slide job. He's your new leader at the line. Bicky gets into those tires. That's going to help him rotate. We're 3-1. Grandy didn't know Putt was down there. Clay, oh, now Clay's going to get a shot from the 91. Gloves are off here at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Clay Christopherson trying to play surprise here, but it may have gotten spoiled by the 91. It allowed Combs to get back around the outside, and now Grandy, he's fallen back to third. As Bicky, he was able to get back around, and Dalton, he sneaks his way through. Who is going to bring this home? 6 laps to go this time by as they come off of 4. Entering 1 and 2, who is it gonna be? Putt still clawing his way back here as he comes up, cuts off the Cobb. Brandon Combs has to lift out of the throttle. Not gonna do it again there if you're the 28. Dalton, can he get it done here? Can he find a way around the 07? Started 4th. Finished 2nd there in heat race number 1 to this driver in the 07. Can he change the tides here? Can he find a way around side by side? 3 to go. Dalton sliding up the racetrack, gonna leave him a lane. He sticks to the bottom through 3 and 4. Oh, contact for the lead. Yellow flag waves. Bicky, Merry Christmas holds onto the lead as the big slow Devin Howard goes around for the 2nd caution, and we are going to have a green-white checkered at the Cedar Lake Speedway. Let's see if we can see what happened here to the 316. As he just pushes up the racetrack, tries to maybe slap back in line. We saw those guys duking it out in the heat race, and well, nothing maybe Shelley could do there. Not too sure. Maybe he couldn't get on the binders in time. But Devin Howard going to pay the price there for that. And we'll go on the nose here as we got to rewind a little further because I was a little slow getting to that. But this is live speed, so not necessarily easy for him to lift in this situation. Could it have been done? Maybe. Was it done? Maybe. But we're under caution for the 2nd time. Now, Tyler Bickford, man. Gonna have a green-white checkered. You gotta think it's advantage leader here. Not gonna be easy. Dalton's got to absolutely nail this restart. As the green waves, we're back underway. There's 2 to play. Good jump there from Dalton in the 82. He goes right up to that top shelf. Oh, we're 3 wide. Dalton takes the lead. Putt on the bottom. If you're the 07 of Tyler Bickford, where do you go? You're in a hornet's nest with 1 lap to play. Dalton storming off the top through 3 and 4 for the final time. Or through 1 and 2, now into 3 and 4. He takes the checkered flag. Oh, man. Dalton DeWert, Clay Christopherson pull the heist of the century here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Bicky led the whole way, man, barring a couple laps there from some sliders between him and Grandy. To lose it that way, oh, Tyler Bickford is going to taste that one for a couple weeks here, I'd imagine. And boy, oh boy, nothing is going to be sweeter than that beer the 82 cracks open after that one, because I'm telling you, if we can get the truth out of him here, he'll hopefully admit to thinking that he didn't stand a snowball's chance in hell, because it's all about getting a good restart. And you were that guy in 2nd with 2 to go. If you don't nail that restart, well, it's race over. And it could have easily been that way for your winner here, Dalton DeWert, but he refused to give up. He sent it on the top shelf on the restart, and he stole the win from this man in the 07, Tyler Bickford, as we'll see if we can find him in the waiting room and bring him up for an interview. See if we can find him here. There he is. And we'll pull him up here. Got the driver of the 07, Tyler Bickford. Tyler, I can feel it for you, brother. You're rolling that thing good. You lead, the majority of the laps, barring a couple, while you were exchanging there with Joseph Grandy. But you went out on that deal. And coming to that final restart, man, did we think we'd let this thing slip away like that?
Yeah, mate. I was hoping a second, but can't complain about a third either. I just fixed my pedal earlier, and towards the end there, my ankle was starting to hurt, and the spring's so stiff in the gas pedal right now. But it was fun racing. It was a good race.
Yeah, man. At the end of the day, 2 cautions at the Cedar Lake Speedway. You guys got to be pumped with that. This is a tricky racetrack. A lot of guys want to run that top, and it's pretty much slide or die. As well, you kind of found out in certain stages of that race. How are you able to run that slider line so well?
Just patience and the best throttle control you probably do.
Well, Bicky, I tell you what, man, before I kick you out of here and let you thank those sponsors, I really like the paint job this week, man. Whoever painted that thing, that is absolutely phenomenal. And the helmet, we're getting a good look at that thing too right now. That thing's pretty sick with the skulls on it. But congratulations on a good run. I know it's not what you wanted there. Tough P3 after leading the majority, but it's still a podium in a great field, man. Congratulations. Got anybody you want to thank?
You for the broadcast, FTM for putting it on, Coast to Coast Sim Sports, Majula Say, and if you like this rap, hit up No Coast Customs. He's the one who did it. Although this is, I got to update my rap right now, actually.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. This one's good. But, Bicky, hopefully I'm talking to you again later, my man.
Yes, sir.
Tyler Bickford bringing home P3, and now we're going to bring up one of the guys who just absolutely stabbed him in the heart there on the final restart. Putt, now, behave yourself. Well, you don't have to behave yourself. I guess this is your guys' league, and I really don't care, but...
I already talked to him.
Hey,
I already went and talked to him.
Maybe we were going to win this thing if not for Move. You absolutely found something on the bottom in 1 and 2, and boy... that thing was coming. Did you warn Dalton, or does he just consider it kind of, one of those fishing stories?
No, I let him know. I let him know I was there. When them boys started getting too wide when they were trading sliders, I snuck in there, let them all know I was there, and no, the car felt great. It was a little bent up after that incident, but yeah, 100%. I think I would have won. I'm not pissed off about it. It's not the end of the world, but happy I'm able to drive it at least back to second. I think if I had one more lap, I might have had another shot at it.
Yeah, dude, not that, if you go back and hear it in my voice, okay? I all but wrote you and Dalton off. Especially you sitting there in third. Were you kind of surprised? Dude, any dirt racer I've ever talked to, man, green, white, checkered advantage leader. How did you guys time that so well? You guys were right there with him, dude.
I pick up a lot of that from doing the drifting simulator stuff also. It's kind of anticipating just by their body roll or the way their wheels are turned. You can kind of tell when they're about to fire. And I had a little bit longer of gear. I actually wish I had a little bit more gear or a little bit less I could have used for that bottom. But yeah, you just kind of guess and you can kind of read cars on how they're going to be in the corner, how they're going to drive in, drive out. You can kind of read that. That's why I like starting in the back on most of these races. It's fun reading cars and figuring out a good way to pass them.
Well, man, you absolutely did that tonight. Up 6 spots. That is the hard charger. I don't think you guys do that stuff. A couple guys up 6, but you finishing second, that's going to win it for you, Clay. And, man, if not for maybe some mid-race or late-race contact there, we're maybe talking to you a little later, but still, you sound positive. You got to feel good about the P2. That was a hell of a job, Clay. Who you want to thank, man?
You for broadcasting. I always go back and watch these. And then all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 and Big Block.
Hell of a run, man. We're rolling into I'm
I don't
looking
know
at
what
it.
track it is.
Come on, come on. We're going into Husitz. I had it right here in front of me. I just, dude, my eyes, I'm blind. How do you feel about Husitz? You excited?
Survive, especially in these things. These are not made for Husets.
Well, we're not in these. We're in the small blocks or big blocks. That's what I'm talking about. What's coming up next?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
You don't think
But
they're made for the small blocks and big blocks? Come on, man.
No.
Everything's made for those puppies. Don't say that to Dino.
It's a big car for this bowl.
Oh, well, Dino's a big boy. He needs that car. You know what I'm saying? But hey, congratulations,
All right, sir.
congratulations, Clay. Hopefully, I'm talking to you again, my man.
Sounds good. Thank you.
And now we bring up the man of the hour, Dalton. Hold your breath here for a second because we are going to bring up that final restart to where I'm talking live and I pretty much wrote you off because I have never seen the guy in second place get that good of a jump on a green-white checkered restart. I mean, dude, you'd be the first person to probably admit, I mean, right, on dirt, advantage leader come these restarts, but you absolutely rode the top and stole it in 1 and 2, dude. Where did that come from?
I don't know, man. Like that was just a perfect time, I guess. But like you said, it's single file. Second is definitely not an advantage. Obviously, you want to be on the pole when it comes to that. But I was just pretty easy on the throttle there. I kind of had an idea where Ty was going to start. Kind of get that cut down middle of the corner so I can get a little bit of an advantage. And I noticed he wasn't rolling the car up to the top, so I was like, I'm going to see what we can do here and hit the top perfect. And that was the winning piece there. That was a great drive by him and the whole crew. That was an awesome race.
Obviously you didn't need to do it, but was there any thought creeping up in the back of your head there as you take the white flag? Did you think about going down and throwing the block on your partner there in the 51? Because he was starting to figure out the recipe there on the bottom of 1 and 2. Man, that thing was really starting to come in.
Oh yeah, I kept seeing little pieces of blue, little more pieces of blue, then more blue and white. I was like, that's Clay, because Clay's probably one of the best on our team at running the bottom. If you want to learn how to run the bottom, talk to that guy right there. And I think with us being so tight mid top, I don't know what kind of gear Clay had in. I don't know if he had taller gear or whatnot, but he was definitely getting such a drive off the bottom while we were battling mid high. And coming to the white there, I think we had a pretty decent gap ahead of Clay to not really, have to commit bottom as much as I want to do if we had like 5 laps to go. But I was content where I was, and we were able to keep pace there and hold on for the win.
Well, man, it hasn't been easy for you here. We missed the start or two. We've missed a couple races as well, but you finally get all the pieces put together and you get a win, man. How good does it feel? Because as well as I do, dude, there are some good dirt racing teams out there, man, but you guys really are one of the best, and you're racing with the best guys every single time you go out there, man. It's got to make it that much sweeter, right?
Oh yeah, it's awesome, man. I've made this team almost 4 years ago. We got a hell of a group of guys. Not a dull moment goes by. It's like family, man. They're all my brothers. I love them all. And to build what we have now and to have a bunch of great drivers and good teams coming to our league and participate, it's awesome and rewarding at the same time. A couple of races, going back to what you said, it feels good, finally to be able to get a win. I think last week we had a storm and my brother and I couldn't get on because power went out because we live close by. Power went out, missed that race, and then a couple Sundays before that, I've just been busy, man. So tonight is, a free night. Me and my fiance get to stay home and not be busy, so why not come on here and dabble? And it worked out pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. You thank the fiance for me that she let you come out here and race because you absolutely stole the show on that final restart, man. That was a lot of fun to watch. And I'm honest to you guys, dude, because I know you can go back and listen to it. Absolutely wrote you off. Didn't think you stood a chance. And, man, that made it that much sweeter. Hell of a job here, Dalton. Congratulations on the win, man. Who you want to thank before you get out of here?
I got to appreciate you, man, for taking your time out of your night to excite the crowd and all of us that come out here and race. All the guys at Full Throttle Motorsports, the top 3, running a great race. Dean at Super Dirt Car Series, Gunners One Speed Shop, grippack.com, my brother at DJ Sim Shop, and that's all I got, brother.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Dalton. Can't wait to talk to you again, brother.
All right, man. Look forward to it. Thanks.
Dalton bringing home his win here in that 82 machine, and it was not easy. He had to fight tooth and nail for it. But congratulations to the driver of the 82. Now, you've been with us long enough to know that hot laps for the small blocks and big blocks kick off here in about 3 minutes. So I can't even join the session for about 3 minutes. So, I don't think Dino and them will have a problem with this. I'm going to play one intermission video, and, it's for our veterans out there. So if you aren't doing anything, feel free, take the time to watch this, tune in. It is for a great cause. And, if you're ever interested in, donating to a great cause to donate to. And, you know the deal. Tax write-off here. So stick around here on Shaggy TV, and we'll be right back with your expert insulation 358 and big block modifieds at the Huset's Speedway.
I'm Chris Jakimick, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Throughout my military career, I spent the bulk of my career out in Las Vegas. It was the first job I had as I was protecting some sensitive resources out there at Nellis. I would deploy to Kuwait early on in my military career with a larger weaponry system to support Operation Southern Watch. And then from 2003 to 2006, I was part of the emerging drone mission for the United States Air Force and Department of Defense. We were fighting the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan from our backyard. You'd be in war for 12 hours of your shift, and then you'd drive home to your apartment here in Nevada. So psychologically, it was very odd. Like, you felt you were in the combat zone every day because you were seeing it on the screens and it was that important. But I don't know what it did to the human psyche at the time. Some things would kind of happen in my personal life after that would change a lot. When Adam joined the Marine Corps, it was a natural fit. Anybody who joins the military, especially after 9/11 happened, you're looking for that purpose. I think that's why he made the choice. It's like, let me go be a Marine. He was in between Fallujah and Ramadi during the heaviest parts of the fighting of the Iraq conflict. I mean, you hear guys like Jocko and everything talk about like the triangle of death. My brother was dead set in the middle of the triangle of death with a Marine unit. I think it changed him. Like, you look at everything across history, you read any of the books out there, war changes anybody that's been involved with it. Trauma or mass events like that changes anybody, and it really changed my brother. And I get that call. I get the text, actually, from my stepmom. I was like, I need you to call me as soon as possible. Something's wrong with Adam. All right. Didn't think anything of it. And I'm about to pull off the highway to go celebrate and have some pizza with my classmates. And she's like, Adam's dead. Adam's dead. He had died by suicide that day. 25th of July, 2017. And it changed my world forever.
I think that was the first time I saw or heard someone broke in through the phone. There was a time where I was concerned that he wasn't going to make it. There were times I thought we're going to have to camp out outside of his house, or we might get that phone call. Are we ready for that phone call?
I couldn't catch a break. A fellow first sergeant I served with, he had died by suicide. On the day of my buddy's funeral, I'm going through social media, and I see what appears to be a manifesto from one of my old airmen. My first thought was like, today's not going to be a good day. And sadly, my hunch was right. He had killed his own family and taken his own life on the day of my buddy's funeral. it was just compounding trauma after trauma after trauma. I cracked. I fell hard with alcohol. That was rock bottom. I first heard about Mission 22 just by like surfing the internet and looking on there and seeing some of the programs that they had available. I was like, something seems right about this. To be in a program like the R&R program with them and the innovative things that they're putting together, I have not seen in any other veteran nonprofit. It's putting all this stuff together to heal in the most effective way possible. They're making you do a lot of the hard work through reading, through audiobooks, through physical fitness, through nutrition, open discussion, critical thinking, neuroplasticity and cognitive feedback to where you're developing the brain more. It's given me a chance to regain my life. Cycling's been a big part of my recovery. Is around the time I retired, a little over a year ago, I set forth, as like, let me set this goal to ride 2,020 miles in 2020 for another veteran nonprofit that supports Gold Star families and those lost either to accident or to suicide. Every time I got on that bike, I was like, you know what? There's a name, there's a dash that I'm gonna honor today. Not the dates on the gravestone. Is like, I'm gonna honor that life. So it gave me purpose. And it just became like a release for me to where the pedals would spin and I would get out of my head for a little bit. Physically, I was starting to feel better. I could see the improvements, and I've tracked my data over the past year, and it's phenomenal on the growth that I've had on a bike.
He's just on a mission and is relentless about it. Every day he pushes it. From the loss of his brother and a number of different trauma that he had gone through in his life, it was absolutely critical for him to find something that he could sink his teeth into. I think he's taken the ball and run with it with Mission 22, especially the R&R, the recovery and resilience part. I think it makes him stronger in the person that he is today.
I don't know why I fell on the bike. It was just like, okay, it called to me, and then I kept going. So that scene from Forrest Gump where he just starts running one day and it ends up in Monument Valley in Utah? He's like, I'm tired, I think I'll go home now. I'm not tired yet. I'm not ready to throw the towel in like Forrest Gump did. I'm getting on that bike and I'm keeping on going because there's something about it. There's something about just getting out in nature, having that breeze in your face and seeing some of the beautiful landscape here in Las Vegas where it takes you away from the stressors and the challenges of the world for a little bit. And you can just appreciate the beauty that is out there and be in the moment. And then it got serious because the Air Force enrolled me in the Air Force Wounded Warrior program and it got transformed into Lo and Behold training. If I do this well, maybe I can go represent the Air Force. Maybe my grief and everything in my entire story can come to fruition because I can put the energy into something positive. If I made the team, I'd just be overwhelmed with emotion. I suffered a lot of my trauma because of my military service, but at the end, it's like, I gotta be grateful that I'm allowed to compete in this because there are others who didn't make it home or lost the war at home. That's what it's about.
Oh my gosh, everybody. I am so excited. My heart's pumping. My hands are sweaty. Please welcome our very own Director of the Air Force Wounded Warrior Program, Colonel Rich Obert. Over to you, sir.
Welcome, warriors and athletes. Today we're going to announce the 2021 Air Force Team for Warrior Games. The selection was difficult as there were many hardworking and deserving individuals, and the work and dedication was apparent by all. I know the suspense is killing you, so I'll turn it back over to Marcia. Good luck to each of you. Back to you, Marcia.
All right, thank you, sir.
Starting us out from Air Education and Training Command, Major Daniel, Lieutenant Dan Cariña. Yes, yes, yes. Air Combat Command, out of Texas, Master Sergeant Nicole Nikki Favuza. From Valdosta, Georgia, Technical Sergeant retired Antonio Del Vecchio. From East Liberty, Ohio, Airman retired Pete Murphy. Technical Sergeant retired Margie Hinkle. And coming up next, former pole vaulter that is very similar to Blaze Velarde, coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, Master Sergeant retired Chris Jacksomek. Warrior Games competitor back on the team, Staff Sergeant retired Joseph Alex Pate.
Whew.
What? He did
All right.
big things back in the day. He's gonna do big things.
Oh,
Coming to you from St. Henry,
wow.
Missouri.
We look at Mission 22 and we see all the shirts, we see all the flags out there. I don't think enough of the people understand how big the programs actually are and how that is actually in there. And like, I'm a benefactor from the donations of these private donors that are there to allow me to live life, to improve life for not only myself, but for friends, for fellow veterans, for my children, for my girlfriend, for my family, is to be that, to say, you know what? We can keep going at the end of the day. We can keep going, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how difficult life becomes, we can keep going.
We have this value in the Air Force, this belief, a wingman concept. We're gonna take care of each other. We've got each other. And it gives us hope, right? And so if you have been knocked down, I say this a lot, by the baseball bat of life, right? You're on the ground. If you know that someone's got you, it's got your six, no matter what, that's gonna help you get back up again. And that's part of Mission 22, I think, for him. That connection, that human connection, that's what's gonna save us. Yeah, that's what saved him. He can be a light in darkness. No matter how dark that spiral is, to know that someone got back up again and navigated their way out, that they can get through it too, that they are not alone. Not for one moment of one day. That's what he could be. He could be a beacon of light.
Man, my apologies there. That video, man, that gets me every single time, and I'm definitely proud to have supported Mission 22, some of the broadcasts for charity and things like that. It's one of those things, man, that really cool, and everybody knows veteran or has seen somebody out there who's struggling, so it's neat that we're starting to recognize that, and people can do more to help the people in need in Mission 22. Big part of that. But right now, a big part of our Sunday night has been the small block, big block modified madness challenge here, and Caleb Schellenberg is at the top of the charts with a 16-point lead over the 56 of Aaron Brown. Bicky right there in a close third, and tied for fourth, Grandy and Roselli. Have to see what that looks like as we shake them up tonight here at the Houston Speedway. This is their halfway point of the season, 12 race season, I believe, and this will be race number 6. So that final hump before we push into the back half, and well, no drivers out there right now anywhere where I can pull them up, so we may be doing a couple shaggy breaks here. Not too much that I can gossip about by myself here for 20 minutes until we roll into qualifying. As you see, is that the 82 of DeWert yanking it down to the inside? We got William Watson rolling the outside here, and track will change a lot. Lots of time for the track to develop. Oh, I think Dino may still be having some computer issues here. Trying to talk to him. I think he's having some trouble with the PC. Hopefully we get this thing figured out for the 79. Definitely not what we want to see for Dino, who's a big part in putting all this together. So hopefully Dino can run the show here tonight. So I was going to hop to Aaron Brown there, but he just pulled off the track. Now we go to the 83 of Matt Schaefer. Let's see here. I see a lot of people yelling Mike Brewer out there. Let's see. Is Brewer on the racetrack anywhere? Nope. There he is. That's evidence. Tell Brewer to get his behind out there. If you want to watch him drive around, tell him to hop up to where I can drag him up for an interview if you want to talk to Brewer. These guys are all sitting in their private locked lobbies. Those guys. Let's see here. Do we have any possible update on Dino? We don't have him out on the track. But look at this. All these guys sitting on pit road too. We have 20 drivers in the session, 17 have put in a lap. Only 2 on the racetrack. So man, they are using their brake time wisely here, not getting to learn this Huset Speedway, but at the same time maybe beneficial to some drivers' driving styles here. We're not getting a lot of guys on the track. We're not going to have a lot of track wear. There is the 390. Mike Brewer, he pulls out on the racetrack. Let's roll with Brewer here for a lap or two, see if he can get an inch closer to that 56 of Aaron Brown right up the road. And really slow it down there in the center of the corner, trying to find as much grip as he can to really carry the speed off, and keeping it pretty straight. He'd like to keep it a little straighter there, especially in the center of 3 and 4, but bicycles around on him just the way that the banking is a little bit. You're going to naturally see it there as it kind of kicks down and flattens a little more as you go to that bottom half. Maybe we can get a better view off the nose. And you see the level change, how it's not near as severe down on the bottom, but it really starts to ride up. And you can feel that level change in the race car, helps rotate it a little bit coming off. As long as you have the car rotated, if you're tight, it's going to make it want to push that much more and really send you up towards the outside wall. So got to play it smart. Can't go all at once here. Gonna go on all at once here. The point leader, Caleb Schellenberg, he joins us for the first time. He hops into his race car. Let's see if he gives us some laps into 91. Here he goes. Oh, Devin is up there, but He's got everything turned off. He did move up to race control. He might be doing something. Let's see here. Let's see if I'm taking... Sorry, I'm talking to my wife there really quick. I wasn't kidding about that AC, and then I go to kick it on, and she's a little worried, and so am I, because kind of just feels like it's maybe blowing air, and that's not really what you want out of the air conditioner. You kind of want it cold air, not just normal air. So, well, not the air conditioner, but the AC unit on the central air. So we'll have to maybe get that taken a look at here, but can't win them all. Kind of gotta deal with or you play the hand you're dealt, as they say. Just to see, because Dean, maybe he's got this thing figured out here. Hopefully the computer's not freezing up on Dino. Couldn't tell what that issue was, but he's out on the racetrack now, so the 79 hopefully going to grace us with his presence here this evening. I noticed this one camera, it gets pretty loud right there, so we've got to do a little housekeeping here. My apologies. Seen me do this before. You win some, you lose some. Well, first off, we know what that does now, so we need to turn that down. But the mic gain, my oh my, somebody's going to lose an eardrum in that corner tonight. So we're going to act like we never did that. We'll jump her back live and check it out. Now you can just think, or you don't get a headache while they're going down the backstretch here. Well, now, I guess that ain't too bad. I can turn it up on your end without going back up in there. But I was going to say, looking at the bar, I maybe went a little low on that one compared to the other ones. But what are you going to do? Can't win them all. Because Sam Bachman's busy doing that. Every time I see this guy in a big block race, he's been bringing home wins. And going to have to try to do it again here tonight at the Hugheswood Speedway. Won't be easy for the 007. Sam, one of those guys that will migrate around the racetrack, when not really stuck to the top and or the bottom. We do have guys talking. Let's see if we haven't had this guy around for a while.
Doesn't even get on there.
Okay, never mind. He whatever he was talking about, we don't know. Scotty was doing something, so we kicked him out of here. So now he's back. I didn't want you to say something you were going to regret when I heard you talking.
My phone has been screwing up on me, so.
No, you're good, dude. I was just seeing how Scotty was doing, but I guess if you're on the phone, you're still stuck at work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Next weekend, though, it's looking like I might actually not be at work for a change.
Well, I mean, maybe we could get one of the viewers to, call in some type of thing to get you out of there. I mean, we can't get too specific, but
let's not get to the callers to say anything, really.
But you guys, I mean, obviously, there's drama going on, but how's Dino down there? Did he get the computer problem solved? Is he safe to talk to yet?
Yeah, he was pretty calm when I came back. He's been battling. I think it's probably software, like his video card. If he doesn't stay up on top of the updates for some reason, I think we're hoping that's all it is.
So he's got the grandpa syndrome like my dad, where they don't go to NVIDIA and update the graphics card.
I check that once a week usually, because NVIDIA does update quite often.
That's what I try to tell him. I try to tell my dad to do that, and I'll go out there and he's 3 or 4 updates behind, wondering why his computer's running all buggy. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah. But yeah, he's calm now. It's safe to talk to him.
All right, Scotty. Well, I'll send you up there. Maybe we'll pull him down in a little bit.
All right.
He's stuck at work, but sometimes you got to prioritize having fun, and you got to do that a little bit. Scotty doing that, trying to keep the band in tune here. Well, the wars are about to be waged on the racetrack. If you didn't watch the Pro Late models at Cedar Lake Speedway there for the All-Star Challenge, you just hit the rewind. You go back and watch this while we're waiting, because there's going to be a lot of, well, shouldn't say there's going to be a lot, but there has a chance to be some lava flowing into this racetrack from the last eruption at Cedar Lake. And don't be surprised here if you see some guys glowing red here when we go out and race. And the big slow Devin Howard may be one of those guys. Hasn't had the easiest night in the 316. Some contact. Well, he's going to have to look to try to claw that 316 up to the front here of qualifying when they roll over. The qualifying going to be a big part of the game tonight. I'm definitely not the quality of these drivers, but, I tried to warn you at Cedar Lake. You saw there Clay made a big charge at the end. He was the hard charger up 6 spots. Expect maybe something like that here again. It's not the easiest racetrack to pass at. It goes away. We're going to see guys migrate to the top, but we will have maybe a couple more of those Clay Christopherson guys down there catfishing on the bottom, just sucking up the little bit of moisture that's left down there. And right now we're actually seeing the 316. Study that a little bit here. Maybe practice it in 1 and 2. Go to the top in 3 and 4. You got to find out what's going to work best for you. You got to find 1 lap pace on a beat up racetrack. Because, with this class of field, you guys have seen it all season. I mean, the difference between 1st and 15th can be 1/10 of a second, 1/10 and a half, and that's 1 hiccup. That's 1 over. That's that right there. Okay, that's even a little worse. But right there, that loses you 11, 15, 10 to 15 spots in qualifying. For sure. And you got to figure out how to go out here and get it done in 2 laps. As Anthony Roselli rolls around in that 7 machine. I'm going to mute myself one last time, go over a couple things here on my end with the boys before we go play, but it's almost that time. Should be rolling in here in about 3 or 4 minutes, so don't go anywhere, and if you do, make it quick. It's going to be a firework-filled night here at the Huset Speedway, that's for sure. Big shout-out to Expert Installation for giving us the source of these fireworks, because you guys are going to get to sit back and absolutely enjoy the show. Should be set to roll here any minute as it's 5:58 on my clock. We'll roll here at 6, so about 1:30 or so. And let's take... You know what? Let's pull in one more guy here. He was sitting up there for the picking. Were you busy here, Big Slow? Or are you all right?
Oh, I'm hanging out.
All righty, man. You're just up there getting to listen to the drama. Boy, I wish I could. I got to watch it though. And man, what do you expect here? You know, we saw you kind of get shuffled around there a little bit. Had some unfortunate mess, but do we need to nail qualifying? Is that going to be important tonight? Because I know this racetrack can be tough to pass.
Absolutely, qualifying. There's going to be guys that's going to, be able to make their way from the back if need be. But here, I think qualifying is everything. The track is kind of tight. At the same time, not a lot of people run it, so it can be kind of tricky at times for certain guys or whatnot. But if that's the case, then you got to really be a driver and know what they're going to do and try to get around them and keep on trucking to the front.
Now, obviously, open setups, Devin. Do you think anybody plays around here and goes to the bottom and maybe catfishes here in the feature? Or are we going to want to beat down the top?
Every race that I've been in here, the bottom's only been a thing for a few laps, but I don't know. That was only practice qualifying and then a feature with heats beating into it. Also, I don't know. We'll see. But it might be top dominant for a little bit, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, hey, man, speaking of qualifying, I see you guys are rolling over. I'll send you back home. Good luck here, man. Go nail it.
Thanks, man.
Devin Howard, the Big Slow. There we go. You know what? We just interviewed him, and he's going to, debut it perfectly right when we cut the mic. Couldn't have drew that up any better. We've got to, normally I go to other people, first person out, my saying, but let's stick around. Let's see what the 316 can do. He takes the green flag, and right now on the top of the charts is a Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer, but Gas Money coming in quick, but Aaron Rockefeller a little quicker as he hits him with a good run there, 13.22. And the 316, Devin Howard, rolls it in P5, lap number 1. Going to go to the bottom here in 3 and 4. Going to slide up. Find a little moisture on the exit, and what does it look like? Green, he's going to improve. Darren Howard, the Big Slow, to the top of the charts in the 316. And, man, we had a feeling, boy. Had to stick around with that 316, and the money dropped on red here in qualifying. Let's see if anybody can knock him off. The 007 Sam Bachman, pretty familiar line there through 3 and 4. Gonna get a little green. What does it look like for the lap time? Gonna stay P5 for the 007 as let's go find the cop. Can Brandon drive this thing off the rails and steal quick time, or is it gonna be for the Big Slow? Oh, Brandon Combs, P7. Not going to be what he wanted. Not terrible, but definitely looking for a lot more as Brewer. He's not going to pick up. Yes, he does. Jumps up to 7. Updated late. Mike Brewer gets a couple more guys with that final trip around. And we've got 2 guys out here qualifying, and you know one of them. He wins almost every time he's here. Damian Ward in the 32. Can the real deal go take another quick time? Damian Ward right now 5th, green, purple. Top of the charts. Quick time for the real deal. Damian Ward, this guy, man, he does not mess around coming here. No practice time. He says, I got you, chumps. Goes out there, runs a 13.17, top of the charts for the 032. Man, it was so close for the Big Slow, but I think he'll take a pole in heat race number 2. Speaking of heat races, possibly should have 3 here, I would imagine. 22 drivers in the session. But once again, I'm wrong plenty. Ask my wife. We'll see here. No, you're going to have the 3. All right, good deal. Row 4 to the outside, Glenn Sharp in the 199 to the inside, the 028 of Jeff Sharp. Row 3 to the outside, the 083 of Brandon Dittmer, the Spider Monkey to the inside, the 41 of Tyler Knopf. Row 2 to the outside, the 7 of Anthony Roselli to the inside, $100,000, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Row number 1 for heat race number 1 to the outside, the 82 of Dalton DeWert, and starting on the pole, the 032 of Damian Ward. I seriously doubt it is a nickname for him, but I call him the real deal because that's exactly what he is. I heard he was the real deal coming into this thing, and absolutely he has been the carrot dangled on the end of that stick, and none of the bunnies have been able to hop up and get him just yet. I mean, he's had a hiccup here too, a little bit of damage at Charlotte, I guess. He was in that one, so actually last week, the main one, memory's coming back to me now. It definitely didn't necessarily go as well as he would have wanted. Pulled that thing off after getting into the inside tires running 3rd. But still, that was really the first time all season that we had seen anyone get around him and be able to hunt him down. We'll have to see if Dalton can go up here and fight for FTM, or if Damian's going to be able to drop the hammer and run away as we roll through 3 and 4. I've never seen the green flag do that. That is so awesome. We roll through 3 and 4. The green flag's already waving. We're underway. 8 to play at the Houston Speedway. Oh, I'm going to get a kick out of that tonight as the 32 of Damian Ward kicks it into high gear, holds the lead down through 3 and 4. Lap number 1 in the books, Damian Ward. Dalton getting a good run there, trying to sniff, but you see the battle on for 4th. Brandon Dittmer started 6th, had gotten around Knopf, kisses that wall a little bit, but so did the 41, and little synchronized wall taps not allowing Tyler to come back with a run of his own, but we got a battle here brewing. Damian trying to glue that thing to the bottom, and here comes Dalton DeWert trying to build up steam in that 82. Trying to find my camera. Let's go on the nose here. As you see, Inch is so close. Driving into 1 and 2. There's 3 laps to go. Damian's so good on the bottom of 1 and 2. Now right here, losing a little bit of time. Center off. Not much. But that's the difference. I mean, he's been better in 1 and 2. Slower in 3 and 4. And as they roll through 3 and 4, the white flag's in the air. There's 1 more lap to go here at the Houston Speedway. Damian Ward throwing off the dust in front of the field here. Final time through 3 and 4. He sees the checkered flag in the air. He takes home heat race number 1, and he's going to start on the pole. DeWert, Roselli, Grandy, Knopf, Sharp, Dittmer, and Sharp round out the field. It was Jeff Sharp in 6th and Glenn Sharp in 8th. I'm not used to having 2 Sharps here. That's a first one for me. I don't think they've ever been in the field at the same time. Let's check out the starting grid here. Heat race number 2. Running out the field, the 51 of Putt-Putt Clay Christopherson. Row 3 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the 88 of William Watson. Row 2 to the outside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. To the inside, the 39 of Mike Brewer. Row number 1 for heat race number 2. To the outside, the 118 of Gas Money, Brandon Geisweit. And starting on the pole, the 316 of the Big Slow, Devin Hauer. roll around here at pace speeds. We'll do 2 laps before we go play, but the red FTM sled for right now is going to try to lead the way. He's got a race full of teammates here, you know. I mean, if you're not one to be gas money. Got 7 cars in this field. 6 of them fly under the FTM flag. The only one is that odd man out, the W Energy 118 of gas money. So he's going to need a hope and a prayer here to bring this win away. I'd imagine those guys would try to work together as much as possible. Try to ensure one of them start on the outside of the front row for tonight's features. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 is underway. The big slow with a good run out of 2. They're able to float up, shut the door, and now William Watson trying to creep up on. After that was Dylan Kinsey there. He's just back there a little bit of ways. Must have gotten the wall in 1 and 2 to open the race. Tough break there for the driver of the 639 as everything happened so fast here. We saw heat race number 1 clicked off in no time. One mistake, you can just be absolutely out of time and kill your whole night. I mean, you heard Devin. He's up front. How important it was to go out here, nail qualifying, and go out here and win your heat race, and arguably starting on the outside of the front row for tonight's feature could be the pole. You know, I mean, leader does get the fire, so Damien's going to be fine in that department, but you're going to want to be up top at the end of the day, and you see the drivers all floating up, almost all of them making contact with that front stretch wall. That's why you're going to want to be up top. It's not easy to keep the speed under this thing if you don't let it sing and float out of the corner. And here comes Mike Brewer in that 39. Can Brewer sneak down to the inside? White flag in the air, 1 more lap to go as Mike Brewer, see the battle coming off at 2. He's got to fall in line, and with the checkered flag in the air, Devin Howard brings home heat race number 2, followed by Gas Money, Brewer, Watson, Brown, Putt, and Kinsey. As we get ready to take a look at our 3rd and final heat race at the Huset's Speedway for your 358 Big Block Modified Sunday Night Madness. Rounding out the field in the 83, starting on the inside of row 4, Matt Schaefer. Row 3 to the outside, the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds. To the inside, the 91 of Shelley, Caleb Schellenberg. Row 2 to the outside, the 07 of Bicky, Tyler Bickford. And to the inside, the driver of the 28, the Cobb, Brandon Combs. Row 1 to the outside, the 007, Sam Bachman. To the inside, the 018 of Aaron Rockefeller. As we get ready to go back and play here, like I say, 3rd and final heat race for the boys. So you want a good starting spot, this is your chance to lock it up. As we were not in the correct camera we thought we were, it's because we weren't on a driver and it wouldn't let us pick that camera. Shame on me. One day I'm gonna, I'll act like I've been here before. Apparently not today, though. As we roll around for the final time in the pace truck, so he has his lights off. Well, really, none of my cameras show the pace truck pulling off, so you're gonna have to take my word for it, but it's gonna dive right off there in the middle of 3 and 4. I'll look low and then I'll go into the infield. And as the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. We've got 8 laps to play. Our 3rd and final heat race is underway. Oh, Sam with a big run on the outside. The Cobb to the inside, trying to find some grip downstairs, but it's all about being up top right now. You need to float up. You see these slider lines. Now Sam, he makes a little bit of time there. Center off, but speed so much greater for the 18 down the straightaway. Then Aaron able to just pull back the reins here and unleash the beast. Gonna have 5 laps to go this time by. Bicky, little contact to the outside wall. Couldn't tell if he ran out of room there with the 83 of Schaefer. But remember, Bicky, one of those guys in the top 5 in points. Not the run Bickford wants here. This is going to make his feature a real tough uphill battle here. As Wolf starting last as Heat 1 and Heat 2 had 8 guys. There will be 2 guys behind him, but you don't want to come in last. And Heat race number 3, definitely not the medicine for a good finish here as we come across the stripe. 2 laps to go here at the Hewsett Speedway. Single file racing all around the racetrack, and with the white flag about to be displayed, you gotta think it's almost written in stone for the 18 of Aaron Rockefeller, who is looking for his first feature win of the season. And with a heat race win in number 3, that's going to be a good start. They'll start in 3rd here for tonight's feature. Bachman, Combs, Reynolds, Schellenberg, Schaefer, and Bickford round out heat race number 3. And with that, drivers have a 5-minute warm-up session. We mute the mics. We stick around for some track views and sounds, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. Stick around. Sam celebrating a little early here. Maybe had a little too many beverages during this warm-up. 007 trying to spin his way out of it. And I can tell you, Sam, when you got the spins, that is not the way to handle it. So we got a Damian Ward fan out there tonight. Thanks for tuning in, Debbie. Damian's definitely, maybe you could help me out. I've been calling him the real deal. I don't know if you know him that well personally, if he's got a nickname, but I've been calling him the real deal because, like I say, that's exactly what he has, man. He steps out on the racetrack. He's been one of the quickest guys out there every single time, and definitely look forward to a good hard battle when that 032 is in the field. But they're kicked off the racetrack here, I'd imagine. Track's starting to suffer some wear. And they'll just park them here for those last 30 seconds. And oh, it's a grandson. There we go. So, well, if the real deal don't work for you, feel free to let me know, and we can chill. I got a message that said, "You okay?" in the waiting room from Anthony. Hey, Anthony, I'm just fine, because I didn't know I was in the broadcast waiting room. Pretty crazy. Sometimes you just find yourself in places you didn't know even existed, and that's where I found myself. As we get ready to roll into tonight's Expert Insulation 358 Big Block Modified feature here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup, being a little slow on us. There we go. We'll see what that starting grid looks like here. 22 cars this evening, rounding out the field. The 199 of Glenn Sharp outside of row 11. To the inside, the 07 of Bicky, Tyler Bickford. Row 10 to the outside, the 639 of Dylan Kinsey. To the inside, the 083 of the Spider Monkey, Brandon Dittmer. Row 9 to the outside, the 83 of Matt Schaefer. To the inside, the 51 of Putt Putt, Clay Christopherson. Row 8 to the outside, the 028 of Jeff Sharp. To the inside, the 91 of Shelley, Caleb Schellenberg. Row 7 to the outside, the 56 of Aaron Brown. To the inside, the 41 of Tyler Knopf. Row 6 to the outside, the 79 of Dino Dean Reynolds. To the inside, the 88 of William Watson. Row 5, look up on the top shelf, you'll find $100,000 in the 518 Joseph Grandy. To the inside, the driver of the 28, the Cobb, Brandon Combs. Row 4 to the outside, the 39 of Mike Brewer. To the inside, the 7 of Anthony Roselli. Row 3 to the outside, the 007 of Sam Bachman. To the inside, the 118 of Gas Money, Brandon Geiswhite. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 82 of Dalton DeWert. To the inside, the 018 of Aaron Rockefeller. Row number 1 for your Expert Insulation 358 Big Block Modifieds at the Hughes-It Speedway. To the outside, the Big Slow in the 316, Devin Hauer. And starting on the pole, the real deal in the 032, Damian Ward. As we get set to go play in the clay. 50 laps at the Hughes-It Speedway. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. It's time to play. The Big Slow looking to beat down the wall here through 1 and 2. Build up any momentum he can. But it's not enough to come at the driver of the 32. Damian Ward leads lap number 1. Sam Bachman taking a peek there in the middle, almost made it 3 wide. Rockefeller to the inside. Devin got a lot of pace up top, but you got to be worried about that 32 of Damian Ward. He's quick, and he's doing it on the bottom. The real deal, saving some tires here at the Hughes-It Speedway. and he's still got speed. Watch out. Devin trying to get that middle to roll through 1 and 2, but just can't get it going. Right now, somebody who does got it going. That's 79 and Dino. Up 4 spots, started 12th. Welcome to the top 10. Dino getting some pressure, though, now from the 518 down in the cellar. Joseph Grandy. Can he make that machine move? Not as much as he'd like here, as he's losing a little strength. But he fights back through the center of 1 and 2. Door to door as they pull even, but gas money trying to shop down low. Here is Aaron, not giving him a lot of room as the 2 race side by side, the 118 and the 18. Battle of the 1/8 supremacy. And the yellow flag flies. Yellow flag flies for the first time in the commentator's curse. Gets to my man in the 79, Dean Reynolds, was the hard charger. Have to take a look here. We see $100,000 on the inside, but this was a solo. Gets in the outside wall. Loses control. And the yellow flag's gotta fly there. Guy's still beating and banging, and it finally does fly. Maybe a little too late. Dino's gonna wish it flew a little earlier, but man, not the night the 79 wanted. He's gonna need held and caressed by his loved one Megan here. This is one of those times where Megan, we need you to, go do that welfare check on Dino. Make sure everything's all good over at the Reynolds home. Make sure Buddy's still getting fed and everything's all good. Right now, it's perfect. It's better than good for that 32 of Damian Ward. Got a lot of pace. Still plenty of time to play here, though. We'll have 42 laps to go when we do go back racing. So don't think it's written and it's over yet. But Damian liking that bottom. Going to choose it here on the restart. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. For the driver of the 32. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the attitude you got to have. Right now, biggest charger after the trouble with Dino, Clay. Christopherson up 4, but Dylan Kinsey up 5 spots. Started 20th, up to 15th. So keep an eye on the pickle here, Dylan Kinsey, as we get ready to roll back. Drivers climb off a 4. We're rolling again. 42 to go. Not even a fifth of the way through here. Damian with a good run. Oh, clips that berm a little bit. That allows Sam to get close, and here comes the big slow. Devin Howard. Now he's going to control the real estate going down the straightaways. And, it's harder to get to the door by yourself. But once that guy makes the mistake, it's harder on the guy on the bottom. I do believe that. And we're going to see what happens here. As Devin needs this thing to stay green. And it does at the line. The big slow. He's got the lead. Devin Howard getting by the real deal. Makes a small mistake on the bottom. But I call him that for a reason. He's not going to give up. He's going to fight back. There's only so much fighting you can do. And now he's trying to crawl up in that little hole. Get in up there in second. Because he doesn't want Sam Bachman to drive that thing and get on the top shelf and all of a sudden lose 2. There he goes. He gets in line. And now the 32, he's got to do a little sniffing now. He goes up to that high side. Seeing if there's any grip, but we got a big one in the back. Big pile up. Second caution of the night. You can see Schaefer, Knopf, Kinsey. Bunch of drivers involved in this one. And from what I'm seeing, it may have kicked off with the 41 of Tyler Knopf. We'll find out here. As you see, Shelley kind of gets on the binders to crank it down. The 41 maybe not ready for that. Almost got into the back of him. He had to get on the brakes. When he does, he gets sideways. Nowhere for Matt Schaefer to go. The Spider Monkey, he gets collected down in there in the bottom. Bicky goes for a ride up top. Dino, he's probably out of quick repairs. He's just trying to survive in that 79, and I think he does. No serious damage there for Dino, if any. Definitely not the start there that Dino's after. Gets himself in the wall. Has a little bit of a scare in front of him, but we do have a new leader out front. Devin Hauer in the 316. We'll have to see what he does here. Does he have the pace to hold off the 32, man? You know, sometimes it's easy to be that lion chasing down the prey. Not always easy to be the prey here, and you got the lion behind you now if you're the big slow, so you got to do something here. Maybe you got to count down this restart for your teammate, the 007, get him fishing underneath Damien and try to walk away with this thing a little bit, create a gap as the green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We're back underway at the Houston Speedway. Good jump for the real deal, Damian Ward, who absolutely nailed that restart in the big slow. If he's going to make it work, he's got to do it quick. They are fighting for the same real estate up top. Welcome Damian Ward back to the lead at the line. But the big slow swinging a hammer through 1 and 2. And boy, oh boy, playing a little defense on the real deal. And man, Damian Ward, he is going to be fuming under that helmet. He had it, but just couldn't make the move stick. And now he's going to have to find another way around. That was going to be his best move in the bag here to absolutely nail that restart, pinch him down on the top. Now he's got to go to the inside. That's where the big slow is going to leave open, you know. Not as the real estate a little too expensive down there, not necessarily worth the price. You're not going to get that speed coming off the corner that you're going to get middle or top right now. So Devin, counting his lucky stars there that he was able to hold on. And, you know, stars, that 51, he is always one of them shining once again. Putt-putt started 17th up to 10th for the driver of the 51. Can Clay Christopherson keep the climb? Here's the battle zone behind Aaron Brown to the outside of the 91 of Caleb Schellenberg. Now we're going to pop these up one more time. Caleb Schellenberg, Aaron Brown, you see it. That's the battle between the top two in points. Now, while it may be for 11, every single point matters in the grand scheme of things, and those dogs are going to have to fight. Going to claw their way up here. It's not going to be easy, and one of the drivers coming up to that fight here is the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds, man, not been a night to write home about, but Pop still keeps rolling that 79 on the top side, and he's just trying to get closer and closer to bringing that thing back in the top 10. Oh, there's a little contact behind Dalton. He's already a lap down in that 82 machine. Not too sure what happened to the driver of the 82, but at this point, he's just got to try to keep that thing straight and bring it home here as we're halfway. 25 to play, 24 this time by. Devin Hauer with a big-time move to protect the lead with that slide job. That could be something we go back and talk about, man. That was Herculean. And Damian Ward in self-preservation mode. Maybe had the fender there, but you gotta live to race another day. It's me and the 79 saying it's allowed us to have this great race. And Damian gonna peek on the outside. Devin gonna slide up and protect. Can Damian take advantage of this extra speed entering the corners from beating down that top shelf and make a move? We've only got 21 laps to go. Combs working under gas money here. Brandon up on the top and Brandon down on the bottom. We got the Brandon show here. Geis, White, and Combs. As they mess around too much, that 88 of William Watson might get himself into this one as the Cobb with a slide job on gas money. Brandon cuts back underneath, but the Cobb, he's going back downstairs here. Man, these guys are having some fun. 18 laps to go here for the driver of the 316. Can he hold on here? Damian Ward has just been stalking him here through the tall grass. Has been so close he can taste it. But just hasn't been close enough for that big time move. And you gotta think, man, what is going through this guy's head? As you can see, right there, Damian Ward, calm, cool, and collected, man. He is trying to take a peek underneath, but just can't find the grip. Gonna go to the top in 3 and 4. Try to carry off the speed, but it's such a long way around that you're not really getting too much of an advantage. It is there, but man, you're just fighting over the same ground, not able to get it. And 14 laps to go for the driver of the 316. Let's go back. Let's see if we can find another battle here. You still got this battle for the points lead. Aaron Brown needs to make them up when he can. Needs to find a way to get by the driver of the 91, Caleb Schellenberg. But Shelley doing a good job of just playing a little defense, you know, aware of that points battle. Doesn't want to give up the cheap, easy points, and got to make the 56 work for absolutely everything as leaders getting closer and closer to lap traffic. If this thing stays green, we might be in for, maybe some lap cars affecting this thing, whether they want to or not. And Damian Ward trying to take a peek in the basement through 3 and 4. Runs out of room, got to go back up top. Damian, what can he do? Sends it in door to door. Not going to rub just yet. But he may be running out of options. Is maybe the only option to use that right front a little bit. Just nudge him up the racetrack. Because we're rolling through 3 and 4. Lap car's getting closer, and we've got 8 laps to go. Devin Hauer holding firm. Aaron Rockefeller holding on to that third and final podium spot as well. Sam Bachman has been trying lots of laps here. Got up to fourth pretty early. Was just kind of stalled out behind his teammate there in the 018. And Aaron Rockefeller looking to bring home his first podium of the season. That would mean wonders there for the driver of the 018. Go down the backstretch through 3 and 4. Lap cars inching ever closer. They're in the frame. 5 laps to go. Devin going down to protect there through 1 and 2. Devin gonna have to open this thing up here. Widen out the racetrack in the 32. It's the only way he's gonna find a way around, and no guarantee that even works, especially as we come up on lap traffic. He's going to have to send up a hope and a prayer. We got 3 to go. Devin Hauer. Man, oh man, he held on to the lead with a big move. Will that be enough? There's 2 laps to go. The real deal. Running out of time. He's sniffing close. We roll through 3 and 4. Damian trying to come down off the hill. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Lap traffic to the outside. That's going to all but write it off here for the 32. He takes a peek down low, little contact. Robbins racing side by side. Oh, Devin Hauer. He holds on, but only by a fender. Damian Ward, oh my gosh, he threw it in there, tried to make it work, rubbed him a little bit, just like I said. It's okay to use that right front a little bit. Don't wreck the guy in front of you. Just have a little fun. And man, we're going to go back. We're going to watch this from the blimp one more time. Because Damian Ward, wow. He got so close. You see, you know the door's going to get shut here. You can see him entering down, but Damien, he was committed. He had already entered. He's going to use that berm a little bit to hook him up, and you can see barely any contact. I mean, he couldn't have done that any better. Barely any contact. He didn't drive through him. It was just enough to bump him up off that line, and you can see aims that thing perfectly to try to hit the bottom of the racetrack, but just couldn't get the speed as, man, he pulls up the halfway along that door. And Damian Ward, man, maybe not the step he's used to, but a hard-fought P2, and those guys absolutely stole the show there coming to the end. Great run. And congratulations to your top three: Devin Howard, Damian Ward, Aaron Rockefeller, Joseph Grandy, and Sam Bachman round out the top five. Boy, man, that was a finish. Didn't mean to stump those guys there in the top five. Jeez. It does not get any better than that, and really any cleaner than that, because you need some contact in these if you want to, be able to get around. And well, I don't know. Oh, it says Rocky right on the back of the race car. For the first time, I get to talk to you now, Aaron, and I was kind of looking in the Discord, and I'm ashamed that with a name like Rockefeller, it took me, about 5 or 6 seconds to recognize your Discord name. I'm slightly embarrassed, but hey, man, you win some, you lose some. And how you feeling? First podium of the season.
Oh, honestly, this was actually my first time on the track. I bought it previously back when it was in the official. I said, screw it, I'm going to race the official. I had an update, and I just completely missed it, so I gave up then. And this was my first time on the track, and I went pretty well, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say so. Parking it on the podium, pretty damn good. And I mean, you're able to hold off that dog behind you in the 007, Sam Bachman. I know how he likes the bottom feed here, but, man, it just seemed like you needed to throw that slider. It kind of flowed up on the exit of the corners. I mean, talk to us about the racetrack. It seemed like it was pretty line-dependent here tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely, like, slider all the way around just to hit that cushion as well. But, no, I seen... took a peek at the rear view a few times and seen Sam back there sniffing me. I know he runs clean, so I didn't have any to worry about that. I almost thought for a while, I was like, oh, I'm just in the way. He's moving pretty good. But luckily, I know on that one restart, I managed to slip by him, run that wider slider line, hitting the cushion there. Really got some grip.
Yeah,
Other than that, the track is definitely slick.
Yeah, do you think, I mean, obviously, you guys start to kind of figure out stuff as the race goes through, and by that point, the lead had kind of already opened up. But do you think maybe a late race caution, those two mixing it up, you think you could have got into that, or were we kind of the third place car here tonight?
I definitely... If there was a late race caution, they probably would have got into it more. I probably would have been real close. Probably capitalize on that, on their mistakes. But that's usually how I manage to get good positions, is capitalize on other people's mistakes. But other than that, I think honestly I was probably just going to be a third place car the whole time.
Well, I mean, dude, when you look down this roster, a third place car, that's pretty damn impressive. Lots of big names, man, came out here to race tonight, and you had some good speed in that 18. So congratulations, Aaron, on a big run. You got anybody you want to thank before I kick you out of here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank for you, streaming this. We couldn't have done it without you. Everybody over at FTM putting this on. Damien, he's been back, but he's the reason why I got back on. I completely canceled my membership because I had a busted wheel. He's like, hey, I got my old wheel, have this, perfectly fine. Get the membership back. I'm like, all right. So there's that. And other than that, whoever I forgot, Team with Super Dirt Car, everybody, thank you.
Well, hey, hell of a run, Aaron. Hopefully this isn't the last time I talk to you, my man.
Thank you.
Aaron Rockefeller bringing home P3. And now we're going to talk to the man who, Damien, one of the best finishes I've ever laid eyes on. Didn't go your way, but I'll tell you, man, you did it exactly how I said you'd have to do it. You got to drive that thing in there. You hook the berm, a little contact, nothing too bad. And man, oh man, we had a race to the start-finish line. Did you think you were going to be able to straighten that thing up and steal it on the bottom? Because, boy, it was close.
Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to be able to. I tried to stuff it in there on the last lap, give him a little bump and run, and I wasn't able to get the car pointed off the corner quick enough, and he rode it right up to the wall. It was a great race though. I slipped up and let him by, hoping to save a little bit of tire, and you really don't have to do that when it's slider like that. And I chased the track all the way around. I kept letting him get away from me a little bit, and I'd reel right back in. Yeah, all over the back bumper, but you don't ever want to do it dirty.
Oh, no, for sure. But like you say, when it's a one-line racetrack, I'm trying my best to describe that. You got to do it in ways just like you did, man. Just try to move the guy up, not spin him around and make it clean. And, one of the things I want to go back to, you talked about that slip up there that knocked you back to second. But, man, on that restart, dude, you absolutely nailed it. Looked like you were going to get that thing. But, man, a big slider and maybe a nice brake tap from you let both cars survive. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I definitely I could have kept my foot in it, but I didn't. I've never really raced with a lot with Devin, so I didn't want to try to push the issue and keep my nose up there in the top. I'd rather just keep the cars clean, keep racing. I don't know. I'm really good when it comes to time in the starts, so I was able to really I was able to fire with him, which is really hard to do on the sim. And unfortunately tonight, just my gear selection kind of bit me in the rear. But I guess that's better than running out of fuel like I did last week.
Oh, okay. All right, dude. That was, man, you're stealing my job. I'm telling you, that was my next question. I had that written down for you because I couldn't tell what happened. It didn't look like you clipped the tires on the inside. You got pretty close, but, I didn't know with netcode. Maybe it broke something in that left front. But was that the deal? You ran out of gas last week?
Yeah. I put in enough fuel to make the full race if I on a regular basis, but I found that line that was allowed me to get really far out in front on that one really long run where I just kept kind of stuffing the right rear in the wall and riding it out. And I burnt up a little more gas. I was able to use a little more throttle, and I ended up being that last restart came out, and we had 18 laps to go, and I had 9 laps of fuel estimated. So I went down to the bottom and I pedaled it as much as I could to try to stay with those guys. The bottom was even there. If I could have been able to use full throttle, I would have been able to get by them. And we were just 2 laps too short. An extra gallon of gas, and that race was definitely ours, no doubt in my mind. Tonight, the track wasn't as slick as it was and a little more racy. I would have been able to. I think I would have been able to put a move on Devin, but man, he was just consistent with hitting that fast line slider, and you really couldn't stick your nose anywhere else. Either a little bit racier track or a little bit different gear selection on my choice, and that one could have went a little different. But you know what? Things happen. You don't ever hit the setup on the nose. Yeah, we'll be back next time.
Deal, man. Sometimes you're that top dog, but tonight, being the middle dog, nothing wrong with that. You still got your place on the podium and in a race with some studded names, dude. So that's a heck of a run. Congratulations on the amazing clean finish. You got anybody you want to thank before you get out of here?
Yeah, I got to thank Premier Racing Setups, Richard Murtaugh with the Richard Murtaugh Driving Academy. I actually just took over the big block side of the driving academy this week. So hit me up for some driving lessons if you guys would like it. And yeah, I got to thank him, Caleb Durgan, Kenny Cudney, Ryan Conrad, those guys, all the sponsors on the car, dad, mom, grandmother, aunt, girlfriend, brothers, all those guys out in the chat watching. You for putting on putting on the stream for the FTM boys, and I thank the FTM boys for putting the league up. It's fun to come out here and race with some of the league guys and really race on more slick track surfaces.
Well, hey, man, it's a lot of fun watching you guys. And, man, I call you the real deal for a reason. You put on an amazing finish tonight, and you're full of them. Can't wait to watch these final 6 weeks. I hope you're here for a lot of them. Great run tonight, Damian.
Thank you so much. You have a good night.
Damian Ward bringing home P2. But now we bring up the man who normally, Devin, if you set foot in the booth, you're cursed. You're damned. You're not going to do shit out there. But boy, oh boy, man, you made it work. You go out there. I thought for the longest time you were going to qualify first. But then, of course, you know, this man got to go out there, no practice time, steal it from you. But you win heat race number 2. And man, oh man, he makes a mistake there early. And Devin, you were right there to capitalize. He clips the bottom in 3 and 4. You got that run on the outside, dude, and you only had to look back once. But talk about that first pass here before we break this whole thing down. How important was that?
It was, I guess it was a big thing. Like I was listening to the broadcast, you know, his interview a little bit. The way it went, slider line, you know, both turns. It would have been a real struggle to get around him if I didn't do it that early. So. Yeah, it was really big early in the race.
Yeah. And, you know, well, I talked to him about it, so you may have heard, but man, oh man, so you're the leader. We're coming to that next restart, and dude, he timed it perfectly. Absolutely jumped the hell out of that thing and got to the outside. And, dude, it looked like you saw the writing on the wall. If I don't throw this sucker in there, I may not get another chance. And, dude, how hard was it to just pull the bootstraps up, man, and send that thing in there? Because that was a big move.
I mean, I wasn't really gonna push it, but then, you know, I was gonna leave him that lane up, and I was like, oh, whatever. I guess we're here. So, I'm glad we were both able to, you know, recoup from that, and you know, we never made any contact with it. So, yeah, I'm just glad we were able to keep on trucking the full 50 laps and, you know, race one another clean and all that. So, yeah, it was a good race.
No, it really was, you know, and you get the 2 cautions, I mean, semi-early. Were you surprised there, you know? You just take a look down at the lap counter and all of a sudden that white flag's in the air. Did it go by quick, or did we feel all 50 laps of this thing?
Oh, my. I was ready for it to be over when I took the lead over, man. I didn't know how long, you know, if it was going to last the entire race, the amount of speed I had. I didn't know how long tires were going to last or anything. Because I'm pretty sure I did slider line like almost that entire race. Maybe a couple laps where I did, you know, a small one, entering in super early and, you know, pushing up, not pushing, but sliding up just a little bit. But other than that, I thought I kind of pushed it hard in the turns, I feel like. But yeah, I'm glad that, you know, everything went well, pretty much. We finally got some good luck, so.
Yeah, man, you know, you were one of the guys there, you and Brewer, boy, those first couple weeks for the FTM guys, you were getting the hammer laid on you, and now you finally got it going the other way. So it's good to see you up here, big slow. Man, we might have to change that. You don't seem very slow in that 316 out there, I can tell you. But yeah, you can't fool me, man. I know how tough it is to drive these things, especially at a racetrack like this. And man, to throw that slider in there when you were kind of going to get beat on the outside, that was a big move. Not many guys are willing to do that, but, man, it was the move it took to win this thing. So, hell of a job. Congratulations, Devin. Who you want to thank, brother?
Yeah, all the boys at Full Throttle Motorsports, Get Nasty Motorsports, DJ Sim Shops, Dean at Super Dirt Car, Jury Designs, and you for Spawn Speed Shop. I didn't say that. You for the broadcast, and all the boys that, you know, put this league on. DJ did a little bit of it. Scotty's got a little bit of work into it. Morano for now stepping up to be our live admin in the big block race. So yeah, I gotta thank all them guys, and you for the broadcast, man.
Do you know, I don't want to start any drama, but I heard from somebody that it was because Anthony couldn't keep up with you anymore in these things. That's why.
Oh, I don't know if it's that, man. Sometimes sometimes I gotta, I gotta struggle a little bit keeping up with him. So.
Oh, Anthony knows I got to take a shot at him anytime I can. He beats me every time on the racetrack. This is the only place where I can take shots at him. I can't catch up to him to take a shot at him on the racetrack even. But hell of a job, Devin. Congratulations, man. You know you're one of my favorites. Can't wait to talk to you again, brother.
Thanks, man.
Devin Hauer, man. The big slow bringing it home. We look pretty quick tonight here at the Houston Speedway. Brings home his first feature win of the year and a hell of a finish between him and the driver of the 32, Damian Ward. And well, you saw the Rock, Aaron Rockefeller, bring in home P3. Congrats to the drivers on a hell of a night. And I want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in and sticking around this long. On behalf of everyone here at the Full Throttle Motorsports Sunday Night Madness Racing League, we'd like to thank you for tuning in. And well, all the admins like Anthony for putting this thing together, Scotty for trying to keep this thing running smooth, and last but not least, all of you for tuning in. Have a good evening.